Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon will be sentenced this morning for contempt of Congress after refusing to comply with the subpoena from the House Select Committee. The Justice Department has asked the judge to sentence him to 6 months in prison and fine him $200,000. Bannon's lawyers argue he should only get probation. They have also asked that Bannon be allowed to remain free until his lawyers are able to appeal the sentence. I guess, Ryan, what can we expect of this sentencing today, and how important is the DOJ's sort of advice here?
Yeah, I mean, judges definitely take the Justice Department's recommendations into account. And essentially what DOJ argued here is that this is a continuation of the January 6th attack, and that by flouting the committee so boldly, he's undercut Congress's investigative powers and really set back what the January 6th committee can do. He also, if we recall, he tried to come in with that last minute deal and say, hey, I will actually testify and cooperate. And, that was basically trying to undermine the prosecution, essentially, is what DOJ says here. So, I think that they're recognizing that if Steve Bannon only ends up doing perhaps a month behind bars, he can turn that around and come out of that right side up, right? He can do a podcast. He can call himself a political prisoner. But, 6 months is serious time. That's not something to joke about. 6 months behind bars is significant. So I think that would indicate potentially to the American public that this is something to be taken seriously, and that you can't just sort of make a joke out of congressional investigations.
Yeah. And Dave Aronberg, knowing the players, is there any possibility that he doesn't do any time?
No, Mika, I think it's very small based on who he is and what he has done. I think he is going to get closer to the 6 months than zero. He could get technically under the law up to 2 years, but the sentencing guidelines say that someone in his situation gets a maximum of 6 months, and the Department of Justice wants that 6 months, and he deserves it because of his behavior, his lack of remorse, his constant attacks on not just prosecutors, but also the judge. Of course, he's attacked the January 6th committee and democracy itself. Steve Bannon has long said that he would go to jail for his beliefs, and now he's about to become the martyr he's always wanted to be. On the bright side for him, 6 months is plenty of time for him to write that manifesto I'm sure he wants to write. On the other hand, I'm not sure how many shirts that you're allowed to wear at the same time in prison. It's not going to be what he's used to.
No, it's not. State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Aronberg, thank you. And NBC News Justice reporter Ryan Riley, thank you for your reporting this morning.